Disclaimer.
History is not safe for work, and neither is HistoricHole.
This podcast is uncensored and contains explicit language.
Welcome to HistoricHole. My name is David, and as always, I am joined by Jason and Michael.
Hello.
Indeed you are. And we here at HistoricHole, we take a funny look at history, or events, or people. Sometimes not funny. Today, what are we doing?
George Armstrong Custer of the U.S. Cavalry during the Civil War. He also fought some Indians or something like that. I don't know. We'll get into it, I'm sure.
I always gotta say, it's Native Americans, bro.
Oh,
You should change your team name.
First Peoples or something. I don't know. I just actually found out that I have
First Americans.
some in my
Hey, we're all part
some in my family tree.
Cherokee or something.
Not me.
Except for him. Except for him.
I'm a Euro mutt.
One of my ancestors was raised by Indians, then married the chief's daughter.
He was a dog.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, so to speak.
In a manner of speaking.
Yes, but anywho, we're talking about
His Navajo name made
Navajo?
dog. Yes.
This is a new, recently discovered
It's
tribe.
like they
Tribe.
would run.
Tribe.
They would do the Naruto run, but they were Navajo.
Jesus. Naruto
weird.
run. Get out of here with your fucking pop culture references.
your hidden leaf villages and whatnot.
Oh no, that's worse. That's
Anywho,
actually something from it.
so Georgie was born
The Civil War.
December 5th,
Great.
1839, in New Rumley, Ohio. His father was Emmanuel Henry,
New Rumley.
Shout out to New Rumley, Ohio.
who was a farmer and a blacksmith. And his mother was Mary Ward Kirkpatrick.
What are these names?
She named him George Armstrong after a famous clergyman because she wanted her son to be a priest or preacher.
I mean, Armstrong was still a cool name. Like throughout
Preacher,
history.
general, you know, what's the difference?
All right.
Is it like the God kind of preacher or like the bless you preacher?
Just fight a spiritual war.
He was the youngest of 5 children. He has 2 brothers, Thomas and Boston.
There's Philadelphia and New York sisters.
Well, he had a half-sister and another half-brother. But it was Thomas and Boston and him that just ran around pulling practical jokes on everyone.
Oh, they're pranksters.
He was a big jokester, this kid was.
A regular Sal Volcano.
Yeah. And actually, he didn't do too well in
That's right.
school because he was trying to be the class clown.
I knew people like them. They were the class clown.
But he eventually did graduate.
Yeah, usually they got through because everyone liked them. Even the teachers, like, come on, dude. They would stand behind them and be like, "I'll get. You know what? I know it's multiple choice, but here I'm going to take 2 of them out. You just got to guess one. The other one. You graduated."
I mean, who doesn't like sitting with the class clown, right?
So what he decided to do,
It's the cool kids' corner.
he moved.
Sometimes.
He moved to Hopedale, Ohio, where he attended
hope.
He attended the McNeely Normal School to become a teacher. He wanted to teach.
He didn't go to that.
Man.
so well in
He
school.
didn't go to the weird school. He went to the normal school.
So
He graduated in 1856.
I think
and
that's what happened to Dexter.
gravitate towards what you're good at.
Exactly.
folks. You know,
It's just like, you know what? I like killing people.
when he started teaching in Cadiz, Ohio, he, had a hole within himself that he wanted to fill
God-sized hole. We all have it.
with
It's true. At least here at Historical.
nationalism. He wanted to serve his country. So he joined the West Point Academy in 1857. It was supposed to be a 5-year haul, but in 1860,
the start of the Civil War.
some shit went down. And so in his graduating,
A disagreement happened.
Fort Sumter.
so he ended up graduating.
Whoops, bang. Starting a war.
I was just smoking a cigar and landed on the cannon. And Fort Sumter exploded.
So he graduated in 1861, a year early, because they needed troops.
Same thing. He's the class clown. He barely graduates, and then it's just like, well, we need troops. Here you go.
Fast track through West Point.
Well, and thank God for the war, because he holds the record for
Thank God
the most demerit.
for the American Civil War.
Thank God this war.
Hey, you know what?
Because he
brother against brother. He spilled blood of Americans.
Yep, it's terrible.
Everyone hates Americans.
It's the most
thank
boring war.
Yeah, thank God.
in human history. Anywho,
it wasn't that boring.
So,
According to Jason,
he had 720.
boring. So why are we even doing?
700.
I fucking hate this topic.
I do. I hate
We
this.
needed something in between the Odyssey and the
Yeah.
Iliad.
And I just found out I have first American blood in me, so I thought, why not do the man who murdered everyone?
You mean the man who got murdered?
Yeah, that part.
I mean, I'm sure there was some give and take.
Oh yeah, there was. There was.
Some tug of war,
Yeah.
so to speak.
On a scalp.
I don't know why we're saying so to speak a lot on this episode, but it's happening.
so to speak.
So he had 726 demerits during his
I want to get those demerits.
tutelage. He was getting penalized for still being a jokester, pulling pranks.
Killing people.
So then he would just be put on guard duty as punishment. He actually got court-martialed because while on guard duty, he just let two students fight it out instead of stopping the fight. And they're like, well, come on, man. Can you try?
Come on,
try.
Man, the rules back in the 1860s, what the hell? They're super strict. You'd think back then, if anything, they would be like, yeah, let him fight it out, you know? Like,
Oh, it's
What was
discipline.
military?
people
It was
were like,
West Point.
Because it was
Right.
officer training.
Yeah.
doctors were like giving people cocaine back then. It's just like, you
But we
can't-
didn't know as much.
Okay, I guess officers training you gotta have
See, like, one thing-
dignity.
one thing-
Comport yourself.
One thing in America
composure.
we've always got right is like this damn our
Being-
military works.
Being cool under pressure.
We figured out the cocaine giving to patients thing later.
Okay, fair enough. Teachable moment, and he didn't jump in. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Good job, Armstrong.
Right. That's what we'll call it from now on. So I think it ended up out of 79. Who started, it was 46, and he finished dead last in his class.
I mean, this is not a surprise.
Yeah, and he was going to, had it not been for the war, he would have been put off in some not foreign, but far away encampment to rot away.
Some admin position,
Yeah, to rot away.
pushing pencils.
But
In
instead,
Nebraska.
he gets to taste glory. And he has a thirst for
I
it.
guess back then it would be pushing quill pens, right? Is that what they had? They had like the big fucking feather.
No, we know. Pushing quill pens.
Ink.
Pushing pills and quill pens. They probably still had pills.
ink pens. They didn't have ink pens.
Well,
back.
you blotted
You
it
put
in.
the quill into the
The
ink.
quill and ink.
Yeah.
Is that's what they
It was
call
just
it?
quad
right?
quill pens. There wasn't ink in the in the feather. It's a little known fact. If you strip a bird, it's full of ink.
Yeah, these birds are full of. Did you know? Did you know?
You pluck out a feather.
You never need another goddamn pencil again.
But we are what we are, and we have our pens, so it's not as good. It's the real thing, plucked straight from a bird.
Yeah, there's nothing like a fresh quill pen.
What do you
plucked
think they
straight from-
wrote the Declaration of Independence with? They got a bald eagle, and they said, "You know what? You're going to be our national
They
bird."
killed a bald eagle and plucked it of its feathers.
and they wrote all their names on it, and here we are. You're welcome.
in that eagle's blood.
No, it was just ink.
Oh, not that far?
Oh no, they didn't slice his throat.
Roast
This
him,
is our national bird. They said it to King
mean,
George.
roast him over a spit.
We don't know what.
To be fair, if that's what we were doing, it makes sense that like less than 100 years later, we're all trying to kill each other. If we're trying to kill our national
To
bird.
be fair, we don't know what kind of rituals they were doing back then.
No
Mason-
cell phone cameras.
Masons and whatnot.
Stuff that Alex Jones put out.
God.
You want to get canceled?
Yeah. No.
That's next week's episode.
Alex Jones here. All right. Let me just tell you.
I think Custer was like, yeah, the right idea.
Let me tell you. Custer wasn't even real. All right? It was propaganda.
It was like, he had like 5 brothers, and they all just like called themselves Custer. They ate a lot.
It was government propaganda meant to turn the populace against the native population.
Sorry, it didn't happen.
I'm woke Alex Jones.
God. Yeah.
New character born here on HistoricHole.
His brother. John Jones. I'm John Jones. I'm not as crazy as my brother Alex.
Adam Jones. Guitarist of Tool.
I was like, what?
Noted conspiracy theorist.
Yeah, no one ever heard him talk. This is what he sounds like.
Yeah.
Being thrust into the war now,
I got thrust into things. I didn't want to at first.
he was commissioned as a second lieutenant, and he joined the 2nd Cavalry Regiment.
And he was like the second in command of like the second thing.
He had 2 people with him.
You know what? He was the number 2.
He only had 2 soldiers.
He was a piece of shit.
And he went about drilling volunteers. Just
Literally,
training
with his drill, like, join me or get drilled.
Training people, Michael.
He's drilling them.
Yeah,
I understand.
like field drills.
I didn't think he had
drilling.
like an arm and hammer, isn't it? Wrong thing.
Baking
He had
soda?
a drill. Yeah, I was
like-
like, he had baking soda drills.
Telling the medics, how many leeches does it take to get the ghosts out of my blood?
2.
Turns out.
We were in the second of everything.
July 21st, 1861, we have the first battle of
Better if it was
Bull Run.
1862.
Yep. First battle of Bull Run, which I do believe is also the first battle of Manassas.
Yeah, wait.
They had multiple names for a lot of these battles.
Yeah, Bull Run's in Manassas. That makes sense.
Which was a Confederate victory because on both sides the troops were not trained very well. So the Confederates took a long ass time to position themselves, and as did the Union troops, which allowed the Confederate troops to have reinforcements come up via rail line.
Via we were already there. They lived here.
And
This is the Confederacy right here.
they pushed the Union troops back, and there was a retreat. So after the Union retreat, he went to Washington, D.C., and just started helping with the defense of the city, in case the dirty rebels, encroached upon the city.
It's like, that was right over there. You want some help?
But in March of...
It's like, who are you? The guy who was last and everything.
But
I
second...
think you need my help, Abraham.
But second in our hearts. Second in our hearts. And at this point, he had long, luscious locks, too, that he liked to let...
So it's like Orlando
Roll down.
Bloom.
Yeah.
He like walks up.
So,
General
when they
Custer.
make the movie, we know who to cast.
Perfect.
Brad Pitt,
Perfect.
10 years ago.
No, I think Bloom would probably be, because he was a very slender man. Anyway, so then in March of 1862, he
Just
went on the...
basketball player, tall like you do.
It's like Kareem
Yeah, exactly. It's Custer.
General
I
Custer.
think he was 5'11". He was 5'11".
Yeah,
And a gaunt,
give a foot or
gaunt
two.
man. A gaunt man.
He was great at rebounding from a horrible defeat.
So in March of 1862, he went on the Peninsula Campaign, which started in southeastern Virginia and started moving east with the hopes of taking Richmond. Dun, dun, dun. But...
Never been there.
Few battles fought. Never took Richmond. And then he becomes the aide to George McClellan.
McClellan?
Yeah, McClellan. Yeah.
McCallum,
which is-
18. Great Scott.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
All right.
Look
So
at all.
Jason went somewhere.
General McClellan starts working for him. They attempt to cross a river. Custer leads some men.
If we've learned anything right throughout history, crossing a river usually doesn't go well.
Well, Custer and his men captured 50 rebels and captured the first flag, enemy flag, to be traded. So
Hence
that was
the name
symbolic.
of the game.
Symbolic. Yeah. CTF. Great game type. David doesn't like it. Then helps McClellan with...
David likes death, man. Kill. One shot, one kill. That's David likes. Who needs objectives when he can kill? That's what David would be in the war.
I crave death.
He's like chained up in a basement somewhere. It's like, we got a war going on. It's like, release him.
Yeah, I'm like Vlad.
After
I need some poles that aren't sharp.
after he captured the flag, he got promoted to captain.
He just slams the flag down. They put his
A battlefield promotion.
and give him a new hat.
But a month later, it didn't stick because he got reverted to first lieutenant.
The
Which,
Dwayne Haskins of Confederate or whatever the fuck he is.
yeah, a month later, got dunced back down to first lieutenant.
It's
What are
not
you
a
doing that
surprise.
month? Invite a bunch of strippers? No.
It's not a surprise that he's not doing well, considering he's last in everything.
But he got that flag.
And then throughout the latter half of 1862, there were several battles he was involved in. Battle of Antietam. There
That
was
was a bad one. Last time I heard.
there was a march on Warrenton. Some bullshit like that.
No one cared about that
But
one.
anywho,
They're just marching.
yeah,
They just went by us and threw pew pot shots. Oh, we didn't bring any more bullets.
yeah, there was a big ammo issue back then. A lot of people always
It's
running
like,
out of
fuck,
bullets.
we have all these guns.
That's why we still have the knives on the end.
That's probably true.
So- in November, while on leave, he visited his sister, and that's where he met the love of his life.
His sister. He was last
Well,
in
there-
everything. No other girl would like him except for family.
Well, she is a half sister.
Half, exactly, half sister. It's only half wrong.
It's only half. It's only
It's only half.
I don't know. It actually could have been
that's still
stepsister.
some.
If it was a stepsister, I don't know. From what,
What are you
the
doing,
internet has
Step Custer? I had to do it. Had to do it to him.
I got stuck in Antietam. What are you doing?
No, her name was Elizabeth Clifton Bacon.
Clifton.
Yum.
Bacon. Libby Bacon. Her dad was a judge, Daniel Bacon, and he didn't care for this boy at all
Judge Bacon.
I wouldn't either.
because he was the son of a blacksmith,
His Judge Bacon.
and we
son
are
of a
clearly above that.
I was just thinking it was because he sucked at everything, but
His courthouse smelled delicious.
it's like funny how like back in the day, yeah, it was like you could be pretty competent, but it's like, oh, your father was a blacksmith, and then you could suck entirely. They just still hate you because your father, not because you sucked, because your father was still a blacksmith.
And there wasn't that many people back then. We forget that we have way too many people around nowadays. There was like less than 1 billion people at the time. So it's like you knew everybody. It's like,
like
oh yeah, your
easier
dad,
to
fuck
ju-
your dad. Yeah,
It's like easier to judge people like that. It's like a blacksmith.
like, oh, son of a blacksmith. Oh.
Nowadays, it's just like
Nose up.
you can be like on crack, and people will still be like, oh,
They'll give you money.
They're working it out. Yeah.
Remember, it's not your fault you're addicted to crack.
Thank you.
You're the son of a blacksmith. Back then, you start getting it.
We've advanced, I think.
But even though Daddy didn't approve, they started
So we can
writing
record our problems.
They started
now.
writing.
to each other. Long fucking notes, like sometimes like 20 pages long.
So many birds had to die for those notes. All the feathers.
All the ink feathers.
He's just shooting. Wait, that's where all the
That's where all the ammo went.
yeah, just shooting. Like I need to write to my love.
Getting those ink feathers. Oy vey.
Why are you killing all those bird steps?
So we come around to June of 1863. When he became
come around.
the aide to Lieutenant Colonel Alfred Pleasanton, who
He was downright pleasant.
who was commanding the Cavalry Corps, and their whole
Would you like a drink?
their whole mission was just to find Robert E. Lee, cut off the head.
Yeah.
I think he's down there
So they
in
start
Virginia.
in Virginia. Now Pleasanton, Pleasanton. He was a voracious man.
Oh,
What?
voracious.
Voracious.
Voracious?
Voracious.
He was voracious.
He was a voracious man.
raptor.
So, and he wanted his generals to have that same sort of spirit. So he made Custer
Pleasanton.
a brigadier general and put him in command of some the Michigan Cavalry Brigade, known as the Wolverines. I guess that's also why you have some Michigan teams.
That's why like every Michigan team was named the Wolverines.
Yeah.
There's one.
Yeah.
All of them.
All the little high schools, probably Wolverines.
Wolverine.
And he became the
Yeah, and then like the people that fought the Soviets, you know.
Yeah. I would name it for them first.
But anyhow, he became the
The commies.
the youngest general at age
real.
23. And at
He
that
was only 23.
yeah.
I keep imagining this man is like an old man who fails at everything, and they just keep moving him around because no one's alive.
Nope, young man,
Young man.
23.
Not very good at anything.
And but now
good at
Judge
anything.
Bacon's like, "Oh, he's a general."
Played by Kevin, strangely enough.
Oh, a general. Oh.
Okay. Well, maybe. Maybe.
Daniel Bacon was swooning.
He was sizzling.
He was hot. Hot for general.
And it's at this point now that he's a general, he sort of has he can dictate what kind of clothes he wears.
Yeah, he can.
So he got flashy. He started wearing velvet
It's like Deion Sanders.
velvet
Primetime
blue
Custer.
jackets with gold inlay on it, like bright red scarves, giant ass hats with feathers coming out of them.
Oh, was it a tricorn?
In case he had to write a letter, he had the feathers right there for him.
Cam Newton.
Yeah, he was flashy. And he also
Say what you will about his work ethic, but goddamn it, he could dress.
and he broke with
He wore
tradition.
glasses when he didn't even need them.
And he broke with tradition because when he entered battle with his troops, he rode in front instead of in the back. So
I will give him that.
he put himself out there wearing the bright, flamboyant.
It seems really stupid, but
Kind of seems like you make yourself a target.
Exactly.
just like reflecting. It was so shiny. It's
And as
like,
a leader, men are relying on for guidance. It would be bad for you to be like, a target out in front of the
kill
whole.
me first.
Yeah.
I'll be the first to die,
But-
but huzzah!
It was, encouraging to see your general
I mean, back
leading
then,
the
it's
way.
True.
Doesn't matter.
What else are you gonna see? It'd be
Gets the people fired
it'd be
up.
like, it'd be like if Prince rode by. He's like, there's the artist
Actually-
formerly known as General. We don't know what he is now.
That's actually probably an apt description of the clothes he would wear.
He
And
was the
also,
prince of generals.
like I said,
Civil War generals.
like I said, he had the wonderful golden locks that he loved to let loose.
The Civil War general, formerly known as Custer.
Yeah. Custard rain.
He had like those Samson-like locks. Anywho, so he took
He
his
just had a symbol. He had no rank. It was an unpronounceable symbol.
so he took his Wolverines north, and they entered Pennsylvania.
That's the Wolverine.
Is that a Wolverine?
Yeah, it's Wolverine.
Oh, there's an X-Men joke in here somewhere.
Oh, wait, no. I am not allowed to say
No
Star Wars
pop
shit. You're
culture
not allowed
references.
to make
I'll
Wolverine.
fucking shoot you.
His
if you
name
do
is
it.
James Howlett.
His name was Logan.
He actually fought in this war. So
That's true. You know what? It is apt.
in the battle we're about to talk about. So June 30th,
Don't get too excited.
June 30th.
It's easy to win battles when you suck as a general, when you have fucking an unkillable mutant chopping limbs off. And of course, Sabretooth. I think he was there too.
Yes. So in June 30th of
Artist formerly known as Sabretooth.
1863, they entered Pennsylvania. And they were looking for
So to speak.
Jeb Stuart's cavalry, which were supposed to be in the area. And while marching, they heard gunfire. So they were like, oh, maybe we should investigate that. So they went off and, found some rebel troops who they started shooting at. And then they retreated to the northeast. And
So anyway.
Custer was like, well, that's weird. I thought they were to the west. But didn't think any of it and just went on his way.
This is before Google Maps, folks. When you can find armies on the on the map.
So
They might be yonder.
he continues on. And then July 1st, comes upon the enemy camp. Jeb Stuart's cavalry's there. I think Jubal Early might even be there too.
Oh, maybe.
All the road names.
Bob Dylan was there. Just hanging in the back. This is a bad war.
So he scouted the the enemy encampment himself, and then realized that they hadn't noticed his troops arrive. So he's like, "Cool, we'll surprise them."
Make sure you don't look left, boys.
So down a little bit from their camp, he set up some troops in the woods, and then took some men to attack them and then retreat. Yeah. Except for when he did, they damn near killed everyone in the retreat as they were retreating. But then the rebel soldiers that were chasing them, finally met up with the
guys hiding.
Soldiers that were hiding already. So there was a little standoff, and then they were just like, okay, well, we'll just go a step away then.
Wait, so the people that it's just the plan went fucking horribly.
Yeah, I was like, what happened?
So he sent guys to go kind of draw them out, to go kind of ambush them, but all the guys he sent to do that got killed.
Yeah.
And all the Confederates were like, what the fuck, guys? And they're like, all right, whatever, we're just going home.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
We're going our separate ways.
Yeah, because they reached the...
we're out of bullets. Unless you want to get in a knife fight, let's just go home.
That probably happened too. The sun was going down, nighttime.
Yeah, it's time to sleep, drink some tea, some ale, beat your wife.
I got beans to cook.
Let's go our separate ways.
I have legs to amputate, beans to cook, cocaine to do.
So in the retreat, they ride overnight and they meet up with other Union forces. And then
Hey.
Then we have the Battle of Gettysburg happen.
You've heard of it. Robert Duvall was there.
Yeah.
Wait, in the movie.
And that was a whole thing. Like, Jesus. Sheridan.
Yeah, go look up the American Civil War.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
There's
stuff
a lot
happening
of shit that
while
happened.
this motherfucker was rolling around fucking up.
Yeah. Custer was really just in a cavalry fight with Jeb Stuart's cavalry for the most part.
Had a rivalry with him.
Yeah. They actually ran out of bullets and then started spearing each other. And then Custer came in. Once he saw that was what...
We are very trigger happy here in America. It's like, bang! Fuck!
Stab him!
We used all the bullets.
We like options.
When he saw that they were just, bayoneting each other, he led a charge into the Confederate troops, which pushed them back into a wooden fence, and then they just killed a bunch of people.
Yeah, because
Gettysburg was really gross. Like, so many people died.
Grody.
Ugh.
It's like we don't like to touch
like
that
the
with like a 10-foot pole.
It was like
So gross.
it's like the bloodiest battle.
It was like toxic, guys.
Well, I think Antietam was the bloodiest, but Gettysburg was pretty.
let's
bad.
not. I mean, okay, whatever.
No, you know what? No, we're gonna get a big old gallon. The amount of blood spilled. It's like measuring the football. It's like, and more. And we all died.
Then Custer meets up with General Sheridan, and they start marching through the Shenandoah Valley during what is known as the burning.
Oh.
But, I don't really know. They could have burned some things. I don't know.
Probably burned something.
Yeah.
They don't call it the burning. Something was on fire.
Yeah.
They could have. It may have happened. Jason didn't do that research, though.
They call it the burning. Well, I don't know if anything was on fire.
Didn't care.
No, they all just had
not
promiscuous relationships with strippers.
Yeah.
The burning. And thus the anger.
Well, actually,
Kill the South.
it is thought that he did have syphilis.
You know, that would be actually a really good strategy. It's just like paratroop in a bunch of like prostitutes.
Hey.
Give everyone syphilis.
I'm going to go ahead and draw the parallel here. He was the Al Capone of Civil War generals.
He was the Snorky.
He was a sharp dresser, man. He was a Snorky man.
Call me General. I'm the artist formerly known as Snorky. and this is the burning tour.
General Snorky. That would have been awesome. The badass name.
But unfortunately history happened. We tried to stop it, but
Yeah, we tried to go back and change
we tried, but
failed.
that whole baby Hitler thing, and Didn't work.
February 9th of 1864, Judge Bacon, finally acquiesced to Custer's demands of marrying his daughter, and they got married. So now she's
Mazel tov.
Libby Bacon Custer. What a name. What a lady, because then she just started riding with him. Like, she would camp with him. She just hung out with the troops.
Yeah, she was like Princess Leia.
Yeah.
She was cool.
She wrote several books.
She wrote?
She could read and write. She was illiterate. What a woman. I mean, at the time,
high society.
Though, this was not a thing.
It was
It's
a
like-
judge's daughter.
Yeah, instead like now you have your phone, and like your lady might be looking at your phone. It's like back then you'd be writing a letter. It's like, don't worry, you can read. Like, what are you writing? Nothing.
I don't know how to write. I'm just scribbling.
Take it, Raven.
Yeah, I mean, that's why how dudes had like 5 wives back in the day, and none of them could read. So it's like when he was like writing letters, like he would even have them take the letters to his other wives and be like, oh,
This is to the president.
yeah, exactly.
I'm important.
I'm writing to the president.
Yeah, and Robert E. Lee actually surrendered to Custer.
To Custard?
Yeah.
Or Custer?
Custer, yeah.
Yeah, what happened?
He surrendered to the custard.
Peanut butter custard.
So he surrenders to Custer and is actually there at Appomattox when Grant and Robert E. Lee signed.
Yeah.
At the end of the war, blah, blah, blah.
You could keep your sword.
But now
You could keep your custard.
well, it's the end of the war, and the Union Army is downsizing because they don't need troops anymore.
Nope.
So he sort of goes on leave for a year. Mexico tries to entice him into leading their army, but the U.S. Army's like, no, we want you to fight Indians. So they bring him back into the military and then send him out west.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah. Where he starts scouting in Kansas and Oklahoma. In July 28th of 1866, he becomes the leader of the 7th Cavalry, and they start heading farther west because there's some U.S. government interests that Indians are encroaching upon.
Very
we were here
non-specific.
first.
It's a very non-specific description there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were already here, and you started building shit on our land.
Well, they had railways that they were trying to build in
Yeah, and trains start running through your house. You're gonna
North
be pissed.
Dakota.
Incursions.
As U.S. forces are heading west, the Indians start getting together and like, okay, what are we going to do about this? 2 big ones are Sitting Bull and Crazy Horse. And they start getting everyone to amass in Montana.
Oh, okay.
Meanwhile, Custer, in 1871, the Tsar of Russia wanted to strengthen relationships with the U.S., so his son, the Grand Duke of Russia, came over, and him, Custer, and
I bet you everyone was dressed really fancy at that place.
the Grand Duke, Custer, and Buffalo Bill went on a week-long buffalo hunting trip.
It puts the Indians in the basket. Or gets those again.
from Nebraska to Kansas or Oklahoma.
That place in the middle.
Nope, Kansas.
Okay.
Yes.
It's in the middle.
And then in 1874,
I don't think we're in Kansas.
in the Dakota Territory, he was protecting a railway survey crew, obviously wanting to build more railways to stretch across our great nation. And they were being attacked by the Sioux. And so he was defending them. And while on an expedition in the Black Hills, he found gold. Now, the Black Hills at that time was a big reservation. And as soon as he found gold, the U.S. government was like, oh, actually, why don't y'all go this way?
Yeah. We heard about the gold rush. We did an episode.
Well, that was California Gold Rush.
Oh, well.
This was the Dakota Hills
Dakota Hills Gold Rush.
Gold Rush,
Different gold rush.
which you have
the gold rushes.
you have the Deadwood set up because of this find.
Swedging.
Absolutely. Now, the President Ulysses S. Grant,
Who just somehow became president. He's like, everyone else is dead.
He issued an ultimatum.
Sorry about burning the South.
That was Sherman.
Yeah, that wasn't me.
But he kind of gave a little bit of go ahead.
He gave the tribes an ultimatum: either be out by January 31st of 1876 or be considered hostile. In which case, we'll just kill you all. Yeah, obviously, being the implication.
Yeah, you don't want a message from the U.S. government like we're going to consider you hostile past a certain date.
Here's an ultimatum. Yeah, that's what you want. No.
Have you seen all those things flying in the sky? They're ours. The birds.
So they start hearing about this big congregation happening out in Montana. So Custer and his infantry or cavalry head that way. They spot it. They spot, some troops, and Custer, for no reason, just starts attacking them. Decides he has 600 men and decides to break up his troops in groups by 4. Goes.
Everyone do the buddy system.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fuck it. By 4.
600 men divided by 4.
We're going to try a new tactic.
One group stays with the supply train. 2 groups will attack from the south while Custer attacks from the north. And they'll do like a pincer maneuver.
It's the guy explaining it, breaking into the bank. Y'all stay by the supply train. You guys over here. It's like, okay. All right.
And he issues them to attack on the June 25th, 1876 at the Bighorn River. So we're at Bighorn. And he spots the troops. We have the game plan. 2 from the south, 1 from the north, 1 sticking with the supply train. Except for when the 2 from the south start moving north, they realize they are terribly outnumbered. There's about 2,000 Native Americans there. And they have repeating rifles and bows and arrows.
Shit.
Oh, those are fun.
The Union troops are only armed with single-shot rifles and 44 or 45 caliber pistols.
Caliber pistol.
Caliber pistol.
Excalibur pistols.
Those 2 groups retreat.
Boy, they didn't have a lot.
Custer didn't know about the retreat, so he starts going forward.
Once again, Custer just kind of like, whatever, just not really thinking much.
Who needs directions or rules?
Who needs to think about things?
I'm Custard.
Of the 210 men that were in his group, all but 1 are dead within an hour. 1 guy gets away to send a message to the other troops that had retreated, and the 2 commanders
behind a tree.
The 2 commanders that received it were just like, yeah, the guy was a prick. Let's leave, and they just left.
You're like, yeah. Bye.
See ya.
And this is why it's important to be likable.
Yeah, it's like in that movie in 1917 when the guy finally delivers the effing thing to stop the attack, and Benedict Cumberbatch just goes, "No, fuck off, soldier. I don't need this." Like, God damn it, I don't need this. They're going to tell us to do it again tomorrow in 3 days. It doesn't matter. We're still going to fight.
And
But at least he's dead.
And after the Native Americans mutilated and dismembered all of the Union troops because they believed that if you did that, then their spirits would be trapped on Earth.
Yeah.
And that was punishment. But with propaganda, you had a lot of national fervor now to avenge Custer's last stand, and all the brave men who sacrificed their lives. So you had more incursions between the tribes and the Union.
It's like Custer's
Troops.
at Benghazi. Wait, what? I'm just kidding.
Is the war still going on at this point?
The Plains Wars?
No. The Civil War was over.
Yeah.
This is after.
Okay, so you're calling them the Union. I just
Oh,
wanted to
yeah, no,
clarify.
yeah, it's
The
US
United
troops.
States
Yeah,
troops.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, Grant. Remember, Drunk
Just
Grant is just like,
make
I don't
sure.
want this job, and he sent him over there.
Just to make sure we're accurate.
Yeah.
We're done fighting each other. It's just like, let's.
We
fight
are
other
the
people that
United
are here.
States again.
Yeah, we're united.
Yeah,
once
we are
more.
united.
Once more.
And we're also united in hating Native Americans. So we push them onto the reservations where they live today.
Go over there.
And Libby Bacon Custer wrote a bunch of books about her husband and her time with Wild Bill Hickok and Bill Cody and all that funness.
All the other Bills.
Yeah, lots of Bills back then.
Here's my brother Bill. Here's my father Bill.
And
my cousin Bill.
And because of the
My daughter Bill.
and because of the desire to avenge Custer, within a year, Crazy Horse surrenders, and then the Plains Wars are finished.
So Custer really is the Alex Jones of the time. Some people might disagree with him, but some people were upset that he was murdered and mangled, and his body was not allowed to leave this earthly plane. So we got revenge.
Yeah, he was buried where he died, and then his wife.
His body decayed. Right?
They dug him back up and then finally interred him in West Point.
That's gotta be great.
Wow.
Well, I think this was his body.
The place where he graduated last. We will inter
This
his
is exactly
body.
where he always wanted to be forever.
Yeah.
Where he was the class clown.
He really made a mark on this institution. Yeah. And so that is the life of General Armstrong Custer.
What a great
George
story.
Armstrong Custer.
George Armstrong
General
Custer.
Armstrong. General George Armstrong.
General Stretch Armstrong Custer. God damn. You remember those toys?
You could stretch.
It was a shit growing up. Everybody wanted to
It was a stretch to make Custer a general, and and those toys were stretchable.
But if you ever stretched them too much and you broke them, you got to see what was inside. It wasn't pretty.
they were
I'm
real.
telling you, folks. I'm telling you, yeah. They were little men.
Have you seen Small Soldiers?
Yeah, exactly like that. Anyway, so we're gonna do the shill stuff.
Shill. We ran out of bullets. just like shill. Just like us.
A shillionette.
Shill George.
Yeah, so give us 5 dismembered U.S. troops on iTunes. Ooh,
Union.
spicy. Union, no.
Whatever.
Give us 5 Indian tribes on YouTube. Or
Sioux.
iTunes.
Cheyenne.
The Lakota.
That's Sioux.
Oh, it is? It's some subsect of Sioux?
So is Dakota.
Subsect of Sioux. Great band.
Well, I'm sorry.
They're on tour with Portugal the Man.
The Crow. They're a good one.
What about the Apaches?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah,
we were
Apaches.
gonna say
Come on,
Cherokee.
who doesn't like Apaches? They were
What was the
badass.
one Michael wanted? The
There's Navajo.
Navajo.
Yeah, no, I don't even know what I said. Naruto.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Okay. If you like listening but you want to watch, you can find us on YouTube. We have a YouTube channel at HistoricHole, so it's pretty easy to find. You can follow us on the social media platforms, Instagram and Twitter. We post full episodes on IGTV as well. If
You've heard of them.
You know, into that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, if you
Watch
like,
us while you drive.
you know, if you like, yeah, do I put it on your on your Tesla? If you're like, you know, into that sort of thing.
Yeah, you know what? If you have a Tesla, give us money.
If you're into electric cars. Elon, you want to give us some money? Hey, word of mouth is the best advertising that we can get because we're just not a couple, we're 3 dudes.
I don't count.
Yeah, Michael's not a dude.
I'm like half brother.
Anyway. So tell people about us if you like this, you know, all this.
At this point, I don't know how you do.
Yeah, all this banter. I mean, come on. It's for free. We do it for free.
Yeah,
We're not
for
charging you
Your
anything.
enjoyment.
That's some free banter.
It's a free banter. It's out there. You can email us at historichole@gmail.com with any business requests.
Or if you're old and you have no other way to communicate.
But we've made that joke a million times. DJ, my joke, yours, but worse.
Oh, you know, I made it different, but worse.
And I recently did a guest spot on this podcast called Out of the Blank. It's pretty cool.
He cheated on us.
It's like a low budget Joe Rogan, I think he said.
God.
With less DMT. which, you know, at first I was like, well, hold on a second, but, you know, it was actually pretty fun. We just had just a discussion.
It should probably be up
little
around
chat.
the same time as this.
It'll be up in the new year. I'm not sure when that'll be, but you
Like
know,
in 2 days?
could be
I have
2
no
days.
idea when the new year happens.
Could be 4 months from now. I don't know, but when it does come out, I'll make a mention of it.
Sure.
And tell you all to go check it out if you're interested in
David.
in that sort of if you like me, and I'm the real star of the show here. So,
Twitter poll.
Yeah, I don't think we need to do that.
We don't need a Twitter poll.
We don't
as
need a
real
Twitter
star.
poll to
Well, we
prove
said.
what we already know, which is that I am.
Because
the
there's
star
going to be
of
like the
show.
fourth option, like who's the most annoying? It's going to be like all of you. You know?
Our statement of modernity for this week is: don't really try at anything, and you'll get killed by Indians in the forest. Life is full of holes. Enter wisely.
Goodbye.